Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on Saturday, January 17th, 2015 at 16:23 in the afternoon Eastern Time. Now, there's always a bit of sallying forth into, as I said the other day, the absurdity of reality and the reality of certain absurdities here on the Joe Kersey channel. And today, I found in, one of the most fun things in the world to look at, the Daily Mail website. I saw this headline. Teenager who has been dating her father for 2 years reveals the pair are planning to get married and have children.
What?
Well, those are going to be some interesting children. Let's read that again. Teenager who has been dating her father for 2 years reveals the pair are planning to get married and have children. Now, it seems that this dad had left his family when this young woman was she's around 16, by the way. When she was considerably younger, I mean, like two. Well, yeah, I hate the word toddler. Paul just says toddler, but say between 2 and 3. So somewhere along the line, she encounters this guy again, and they fall in and started having sex. Coitus, yes, coitus is Sheldon would say on The Big Bang Theory. And now, apparently, in New Jersey, they plan to move to New Jersey. Now, apparently, in New Jersey, father-daughter incest, according to the Daily Mail. Now, that's according to the Daily Mail. I didn't look any further into this. Is legal. Yes, Paul just invoked the Almighty on that one, as I'm sure many people, listening to this are doing anyway, either aloud or silently. And apparently, the young woman when interviewed says that she's not worried about the children having problems because she thinks that's statistically overrated. That possibility is statistically overrated. Well, you've just simply got to love that kind of stuff, don't you? So, love, thy siren song is everywhere. And it's not even spring yet. Now, this was not the only such fun on offer there in the Daily Mail today. And we have here Women's College cancels annual vagina monologues performance, claiming classic play excludes transgender students. Let's run by that again. Women's College cancels annual vagina monologues performance, claiming classic play excludes transgender students. Now, this little gem came out of Mount Holyoke College there in Holyoke, Massachusetts. And it seems that this play, which has been around for, many years, probably upwards of 20-some years now, maybe a little bit longer, isn't radical enough for even the radical feminists. So, in an effort to not foster an atmosphere to not foster an or to not seem to foster an atmosphere of exclusion, Mount Holyoke cancels this classic play. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, you really can't. I mean, I've got a lot of things going on underneath this nice wool hat, but I don't think I'd have ever come up with either of these things.
Because it excludes male students.
Well, no, transgender students, not male students. Oh, no, we can't say male or female in this brave new world.
What the hell they are.
Well, of course. But, we're not allowed to let reality intrude on what people are trying to construct here. I mean, you just gotta love it. You just sort of gotta smile and walk on by, because there's nothing you can do about it. So, Paul and I have been enjoying this sort of 40-degree weather that we've been having here finally for a day or two. Well, today, and then I think maybe even tomorrow. Although we're going to get a little rain tomorrow, and then the temperatures are going to go back down a bit, but not horribly down. Now, I guess the week, toward the end of next week, temperatures are going to go down a little bit. But, we'll go back down to sort of, standard, really cold January, early February temperatures. But hopefully, it might stay as dry as it stayed, although it's hard to say, when you get these kind of shifts and things. So we'll see. It hasn't been bad so far. I did check on the generator like I talked about yesterday, or the other day, and turned the heater off because it was 40 degrees out there. I don't need to have the heater on the generator when it's 40 degrees. And then the battery was fully charged, and I decided, well, we'll let everything kind of rest and coast for a bit on that. And so we'll see. Now we had a surveyor back out today looking at, well, as it turned out, I watched what he was doing, and when he left, he knocked on the door and said he was here, which is nice of them to do that. And this same guy had been out here. He was actually the very first guy that showed up back in the summer of last year, or spring of last year, when all this surveying started. And he was shooting stuff, and from what he was doing, it was clear from watching him that he was actually shooting stuff for the drainage arrangements that they'll have to do when they widen this road. So, and when he left, he came up to say he was leaving, and I watched him, and I opened the door, and I said, I assume this was all about drainage stuff today, and he says, yeah. So things are moving on apace. Now, another one of these land acquisition dudes is showing up here on Monday. He wants to go up to the corner place and look around. That's fine. Go up and look around. He's more interested in terms of what is left in the house and left in the barns and things. I said the only thing that I really want's that bicycle out of the garage. And Paul wants his brother's pole climbing equipment. His brother worked for the phone company, and he went up and down poles. He's got his pole climbing equipment in the red barn. Paul's looking very pensive. He doesn't seem inclined to join in today's discussion.
I didn't know it was there. Eddie saw it. Eddie was here sometime and he saw the stuff through the window. He told me about it. I got up on the log and looked in the window, and yeah, it's hanging there on a post. So, and he said, I'd like to have that back.
Well, since they know it's in there, the guy said, they'll make sure that when they tear that thing down, they'll try their best to retrieve it. If not before they start work, but after. So he says, "Can I get in there?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "You're welcome to try." I said, I don't have a key to that lock anymore. In any case, that lock ain't going to work, and plus you can't get to the lock anyway to get in that side door. And I said you could maybe stick your head in through the, couple of people have pried boards off the side of that barn. I think they were looking for a place to get in there to crawl in. Either A, to steal stuff, or B, shelter. You got, during the economic downturn, you had a number of sort of homeless people sort of wandering out here. It's kind of like the Depression era in that sense. And I think that, because you'd kind of see where they may have even slept outside, and occasionally you'd see a pile of crap, where they took a crap. So, there was some of that stuff going on. But we went out, and I walked around on the porch, and Paul crouched around on the porch, and he had a couple of 3 or 4 smokes, and it's been very pleasant. One smoke?
2 today.
Well, I thought, well, okay, well, I guess I overcounted. We're having a couple of Heinekens right now. Well, we've been watching Broomball from Michigan Technological University up there in Houghton, Hancock, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And they run this Broomball tournament in January and February, and it's always fun to watch their webcams. You've got 3 rinks going. You can switch between the rinks on the webcams. It's too bad they don't have sound with this. It'd be fun if you had sound with this, but they don't. It's fun to watch this stuff.
Like, they're not supposed to wear padding.
Oh, they're allowed to wear like knee padding and leg padding and.
They're allowed to wear the shin guards while they're playing.
Well, they're allowed to wear knee pads anyway, and elbow pads, and they usually wear like lacrosse type helmets. And
because a couple of them, they've been wearing like shin guards.
Well, they're allowed to do that. If you read they have the official rules. They've got this extensive rule book. You can go read it. It's kind of fun.
Yes. A couple of these teams, they really score up like you wouldn't believe.
Yes, no, typically, we watch. Yeah.
The silver rink that I just finished watching, the one team, it's like they're only out there for like 10, 15 minutes, but hell, the other one team got 11 points and the other one, they only had 2.
Well, that was kind of typical of last year, when we watched, and there were maybe 3 or 4 teams that basically just blew everybody else out of the water, and the others would,
And then at the end of this, they'll have a big playoff between the highest.
Yeah, they do have like a final sort of like I think it's a 4. It's either an 8-team or a 4-team little mini tournament. Yeah. That happens in like the 3rd week in February. Any other insights today, Paul? No.
Nice and warm out.
Yeah, it is. It is nice. It was very pleasant. I mean, it was fairly windy. Now the wind's died down a bit, but.
But the wind felt warm,
Oh yeah, no, it was out of southwest. This was warm wind. I mean, it was nice.
Yeah.
Didn't keep me from wearing my hat.
I wore mine. I thought it was freaking colder out, but it wasn't.
Well, church tomorrow. I'm going to try to go to 8 o'clock service, and there was something I was going to do afterwards. Oh, I was thinking there are a couple of things I might buy over at Walmart.
Give me another thing of Diet Coke. Just one.
Okay, well, there I've got my commission. I've got a case of Diet Coke. All right, so bye YouTubers. I just thought of something. I got this package, in a large envelope, like a large manila envelope, of standard business envelopes, addressed to an individual in our prayer group who does not have a computer. She's the only individual in our prayer group that does not have a computer, and it's stamped and with her address written in, and I've told her repeatedly, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I'll eat the postage. It's not a problem for me. You don't have to do that. But she does it every time she, and there's, typically you always get this really, over the top self-effacing note in there, which was there today as well. Oh, I'm so sorry I was late with this. It's my fault. And then in addition to that little mea culpa disclaimer, we go, which always comes with a little drawing of an angel, all fluttery. She's very much into angels. I sound like I'm making fun of this woman. I'm not. She's a really decent, kind, good soul.
I always thought it was a dove.
No, it's an angel. It's got a little trumpet in its mouth. And it's a little cloying for my taste. It's a matter of taste. It's not necessarily a matter of substance. And, last Sunday, no, actually it was 2 Sundays ago. Not last Sunday, because I went to 8 o'clock last Sunday. But 2 Sundays ago when I read at the 10:30 service, because she goes to the 10:30 service. I go to both depending on how the mood hits me. And she comes up, and she grabs hold of me and she hugs me. Well, listen, anybody who knows me even cursorily knows that with me, it's a handshake or a fuck. It's a handshake or a fuck. I don't respond well to hugs because I get very internally confused by that. See, I've not been socialized that way. You can't let me loose that way. You can't let me loose that way. And she hugs me. She says, I'm hugging everybody today. And I grabs me. I said, okay. Sort of pat her on the back. Pat, 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 pat. So today in her note, she says, I realized that you didn't like me hugging you the other day, and I promise that will never happen again, in caps, underlined. Never happen again. Okay, fine. You can't get away from these fucking huggers. Sometimes you really can't. Well, I suppose that's better than poking the eye with a sharp stick. So again, now I'm done. Honestly. Bye-bye.